Well, I just spent like the last 30 minutes writing a journal about for Human Garage in their app um, about my progress so far. I'm taking a course on coaching Human Garage, and I am overcoming my fear of speaking my truth, of speaking up in public, of speaking my mind, um, public speaking in general. um, and I've been such a um, very much a loner in my life, and haven't put myself out there in a lot of situations. So I definitely we're at that point where I'm going to have to start teaching. Um, Actually, let me rephrase that. I get to start um, teaching in person classes. So I haven't never done it before. Um, so I'm supposed to be making a flyer so I can post it at the post office and on Facebook. And soon, I guess I'll be showing up at the Brow Park on Saturday mornings at 7 and be there for an hour before work and teach whoever shows up. And if no one shows up, that's going to be okay too. And that will help me um, process some of the emotions that I have about, like rejection or um, abandonment abandonment issues. With Human Garage, we definitely um, focus our intention on doing the maneuvers with an intention to release trauma that's been stored in the body. So we definitely understand that the emotions do affect how our fascia is, um, like if you're in fight or flight, your fascia needs to be tense and ready to move. And if you're in rest and recovery or in the parasympathetic, then your fascia can now release and let go. But most people are stuck in fight or flight all the time because you can't be in both fight or flight in the sympathetic and the parasympathetic at the same time. It's either one or the other. You can't be in both. So you're either really stressed out with hard fascia or you're relaxed and your fascia is relaxed as well. So, but anyway, I spent 30 minutes um, writing out, a nice journal entry about my progress and maybe about the fear attached to getting up and speaking and having this next step that in the past I have done the instead of progressing to the next step in whatever I was doing, I would get interested in something else. So I'd be learning something new, but not becoming an expert in anything in particular. Um, and so it's really important that I actually make this next step and go to the Brow Park next Saturday at 7 a.m. Even if nobody shows up, that'll be fine. You know, maybe the first time I want nobody to show up. I don't know. But I don't. I actually want people to show up because I don't want, I don't know. I have to show up for me regardless, but um, the number one thing is to not abandon yourself, which I have done a lot of in the past, is abandoning myself and deeming myself unworthy of something, not knowing enough, not having the right ideas about something in general. Um, and so I was also kind of working into that whole um, journal entry, is that I haven't been very good about doing a painted picture for the lifestyle artist um, program, which I started before the coaching program, but haven't progressed in. So there's that pattern of, like kind of jumping from one thing to the next. But at least this time I chose something in the same vein of what I was already doing, but that's because I really believe in Human Garage, and that it works. That it will help you get out of pain. It will help you find the patterns that you are storing in your consciousness and in your fascia as a result. Um, but yeah, the other thing that as I started painting, writing out what the summer looks like for me in this painted picture, and so I would be having my summer classes at the Brow. I'd be having classes on lives on Instagram. I'm still doing my coaching course because I'm not finished with that, but this is like a step that I have to check off in order to complete my course. So, and it's a logical step, actually teaching someone in person that's not my mom. And having multiple people show up, that's the goal. But also, the two things that I've been focusing on in the past almost 5 years of being sober was, what made me drink was all of the negative self-abuse that I was doing in my head. And I've known that I have really shitty thought patterns for a long time, and I'm finally getting myself out of those crappy thought patterns. And so, number one, I had to stop the negative patterns in my mind. Try to actually start listening to my heart and what my heart really wants to do. And that was, I guess, be a Human Garage coach, because that's what I really want to do. But that does involve teaching people. But I also really feel called to do like a really long fast, because I really in my heart believe that when our bodies go without food, that's when the body actually has the energy to heal itself, and we can heal ourselves. That's what I love about Human Garage, is that it teaches us how to relax, how to de-stress our nervous system enough, and our environment, because toxins are actually for the body, stressful for the body. Get toxins out of your environment, get the stress out of your body, and um, stop being in pain. But I also feel called to do a long fast, and it's been the past almost 5 years has been a lot of revealing the things that I do to ignore what my heart wants to do. um, and I mean, like, a lot of times I will eat even when I'm not hungry. I'll eat out of boredom, or I'll eat just because like I want to comfort myself. And when I spend time away from food, I or the time that I've spent away from food has actually um, revealed how much I really use food as a comfort to myself. Um, and so, what my painted picture for this summer is looking like is, doing in person classes and having a long fast and posting on Instagram about, whether I'm succeeding or failing in my fast, or whether I have to look at it as a success or failure. At this point, I've gained all of the weight back that I lost on my last fast, and I recognize that I have like a comfort limit on my weight level. Is that healthy? Is it? I don't think it is. But there is like a certain weight that I get down to that, like subconsciously I hear the red flags going off. You're too thin, like. And it's all just made up crap in my head, because only I know what real health feels like in my body. And so my painted picture is that I'm doing a really long fast, and I'm doing the coaching for Human Garage, and I'm learning how to make videos, edit videos, make meditation videos. I should actually do some more QHHT hypnosis sessions. But yeah, it sounded a lot better when it was written out. Now it just seems like rambling, but I just didn't have the heart to sit down for any longer. And now I'm going to do a maneuver or two before work. So, what do I want to do? Let's sync up. Place your right hand on your heart and your left hand on your head. And this is actually heart coherence breathing. So we're going to focus on the energy flowing in between our right and left hands. The energy flowing from in a circle in between our brain and our heart. And we'll breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. In through the nose, out through the mouth. Hold on that spinal pelvic lock. And we'll breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. I'm going to step my right foot over my left. I would open your eyes for that if you have them closed. In fact, you can do this with your eyes open too. But we'll breathe in through the mouth. And breathe out through the mouth. Breathe in through the mouth. And out through the mouth. I can feel the fascia that is in between my, let's say, liver and when my breath is completely like full on the inhale. I can feel the fascial connections there. So means that I should do some organ reset. We can do the liver in particular. That's where we store our rage, our anger, our resentment. So you can either just touch where the liver is, right underneath the right side of rib cage, or you can twist thumbs up and torque the fascia, and we'll breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, pull in that spinal pelvic lock, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth, in through the mouth, and out. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Thank you, liver, for holding all this anger and resentment that I could not process. I am ready to let this anger and resentment go. Breathe in, breathe out. Thank you, liver, for doing such a good job of processing my anger and resentment. I am ready to store compassion for myself and for others and for the world. Breathe in and breathe out. We have something like 50 trillion cells in our body, and every single one of them is a generator of electricity. We have the energy of something like a more like a lightning bolt. I think we actually have more energy in our cells than altogether than a lightning bolt. So that's pretty. So you're going to want to imagine the energy actually running from your hands, in between your two hands, while you're doing your organ reset, which there's a lot. You can do a reset for all of them. I am going to do the liver and the kidneys. So place your left hand on the back of your neck and put your right hand on the rib cage right there at the bra line or nipple line, and pull down on the fascia. Just really lock it in there. And we're going to pull in our spinal pelvic lock, and we're going to look to the right and bend forward to the left a little bit. And we're going to do 3 quick inhales to charge our kidneys. And release. And now we'll do our 6 breaths. So in through the nose, out through the mouth, 2, 3, and in through the mouth, 2, 3. Thank you, kidneys, for holding all the power in my body. Thank you for charging my body with power. And I am ready to feel all the power that I have in my body. I am powerful. I generate a lot of energy. And you can rub your hands together and feel the energy build. And we believe that the fascia is the positive in the bones or the negative charge. When you rub things together, then we'll rub our knuckles together. Things are being charged and reset while we're breathing and touching. So, and our intention is very important in Human Garage. So do everything with intention of releasing past trauma, of letting go of all of the negative energy that you have stored. So we're going to do our left side. This time we'll put our right hand on the back of our neck. That's where the meridians run through, all of the meridians. Take your left hand and place it at the nipple line and pull the fascia, pin it and lock it and pull it down. And we're going to look to the left, pull in that spinal pelvic lock, and we're going to lean a little bit to the front. I just really like to feel the strap, the tension in between the rib cage and the hips engaged. So we're going to breathe in through the nose. Actually, we're going to do a charging breath first. And release. And now we'll breathe in through the nose. Out through the mouth. In through the nose. Out through the mouth. And 3. In through the mouth. 2. 3. Alright, thank you, kidneys, for giving me all my power and storing all my energy. I am ready to re-energize myself and let go of stagnant energy. Alright, so we'll do the psoas release. I have a lot of bound fascia in this area because I spend time sitting, but also our bladders are where we store fear, so we will also end the psoas release with a bladder reset. So we're going to take our right hand and find our belly button. We'll move over 2 inches and down 2 inches. And then what I like to do is grab my abundance, as I believe we would say, and pull the fascia away from the hip bone towards the belly button. We're going to pull in our spinal pelvic lock, and we're on the right side with our hands. We're going to move forward, step our foot forward, our left foot forward. And I like to put my right hand on the fascia on this area where the ileocecal valve is. It should be like a little round spongy kind of area. And make sure that spinal pelvic lock is engaged. If you have good balance, you can bow your chest up and look up at the sky, and just try to create as much tension in between your hip and your belly, the hand on your belly button. And we're going to breathe in through the nose. 2, 3. And you can move in this position while you're doing it. If you just look for a spot of more tension, and we'll breathe in through the mouth. 2, 3, and release. You can step your feet equal distance. I got bitten by a horsefly. So we're going to do the same thing on the left side. So find your belly button and move your left hand 2 inches to the left and 2 inches down. Pull your fascia away from your left hip bone. Step forward with your left, no, sorry. Step forward with your right foot and look for the tension. You can move around here, pull in your spinal pelvic lock, and we will breathe in through the nose. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And now with your feet equal distance apart, find your the meaty part above your pubic bone, and we're going to tuck our butt back and really find a good spot to pull the fascia forward or up, and we're going to push our butt forward all the way. We'll place our left hand on the back of our neck, and we're going to breathe in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feel free to move here too, side to side. If you find a particularly sticky spot, I would stay in that spot and breathe. So, thank you, bladder, for holding all this fear. It is only false evidence appearing real. I am safe, I am secure, and I am worthy. Thank you so much for holding all this fear. I no longer need it stored in my body. I am ready to let it go. Thank you. Breathe in. Oh, that feels good. Stretch as much as you can there. Alright, so I'm going to do anti-gravity. We are going to interlock our fingers, and we're going to place them up against the occipital ridge after we pull the fascia up with it. So just pull it as close to the occipital ridge as you can. And we're going to look all the way up, and then we're going to bring our chin to the chest, and we're going to breathe side to side, and I'll give you better directions in a moment. I'm just giving you an idea of what we're going to be doing. We'll come down to a seated squat and do side to side while breathing, and then we're going to come all the way down as far as you can, and tuck your elbows in between your knees if you can get all the way down. If you can't, and this is all you can do, that's what you do for the last 6 breaths. We'll come up butt first and end in the position that we started with. Now you may get really dizzy from this one. You might have emotions arise, you might feel nauseous, you might sweat a lot. All of those are just signs that your fascia is releasing stored trauma and stress. So just be very aware that when you get back up here, stay in this position for, as long as you are feeling dizzy. Let the spinal fluid flow back down into lower areas. So look up at the ceiling or at the sky, and we're going to pull in our spinal pelvic lock, and we'll breathe in through the nose. 2, 3, in through the mouth. 2, 3. All right, so now we're going to tuck our, make sure you keep tension on the fascia as you're pulling it forward. You want there to be as much tension as possible. I can feel the fascia like mid-back really starting to stretch. And put your chin on your chest. We're going to just turn like the head and the elbows for the most part. So we're going to breathe in through the nose, and we're going to go to the right. Two, left, to the right. If you lose your grip, just grab the fascia again. Left, right, left. All right, so we're going to come down into a skier squat, so it looks more like this. And we're going to breathe. Make sure your spinal pelvic lock is engaged, and that fascia has, you've pulled your the fascia towards your occipital ridge, and we're going to look to the right. And inhale, exhale to the middle. Look to the right, and inhale, and exhale center. Right, left, right, left. All right. I'm going to grab my fascia again, and we're going to go all the way down into a full squat. Just get as low as you can and breathe in through the nose. 2, 3. Breathe in through the mouth. 2, 3. And come up butt first. And we're going to breathe in through the nose. And exhale. Just like, and we'll come all the way up. And return. Elbows up. Ooh, I got nice and high that time. Oh my goodness. Be careful there. Ah. Yeah. Anyway. I don't know why more people don't do this, because I get really, really high off of it. Anyway, have a good day.